Hello and either welcome or welcome back to my channel. Today we are making a recreation of Tommy or Thomas Shelby's mansion from Peaky Blinders, which is a show. I'm sure you've probably already seen it if you're watching this video, but it is on Netflix. It's a really good show if you haven't gotten the chance to see it yet. I would definitely recommend. It's about like a London street gang, I guess, just after World War I, and it's definitely a very good show. One other thing that I did want to mention about this build slash video is that the actual mansion slash build is actually up on the gallery, on the Sims 4 gallery. If you look in the description bar down below, I do have my username listed below, so you can search for me there. I do like to do some different recreations and stuff like that, like this video. So if you like that kind of an idea, you'll probably find other stuff that you like there as well. But anyway, another thing I wanted to share about the video is that I really had to restrict the time of this video because when I first had all of the footage ready, and not even all the footage, of course, but just the footage that was, good, it was like over an hour long because this build, like I said, is just massive. It's a huge mansion and there's just like a ton of rooms and space and everything, so I had to be ruthless on myself. I definitely tend to want to include all of the footage when I make these videos, but then it ends up being, like I said, an hour long. So I was very cutthroat when I was editing this, and one of the things that I did that definitely reduced the time of the actual video was that I didn't really include any landscaping or kind of outside stuff. You can see here I did include a little bit just so you could see the bare bones of the outside of the house, but I really restricted. I didn't show myself building any of the floor plan or anything like that, just so that the video wouldn't be so long. The other thing is that the actual build, I had to add in some rooms that weren't actually shown in the TV show, of course, because not everything in the house was shown in the TV show. So those kinds of things I didn't show myself building because that would really increase the time of the build. So there's lots of guest rooms and sitting rooms and stuff like that that are decorated. The whole mansion is it's totally decorated, but it's just not included in the video just so that it's not an hour long. One thing that I wanted to mention as well is that I've obviously seen the whole show. There's supposed to be a new season coming out soon, which is pretty exciting. But I did look up. So two things. I did look up. I do usually do quite a bit of research before I do these builds, just because I obviously want it to be somewhat accurate. As accurate as I can make it. And I did find some sample floor plans that people had either made or whatever. I never really found any of them to be completely accurate based off of what I what I had kind of put together in my head based off of just watching the show. So I kind of took a few different floor plans that I found online and kind of melded it to kind of be my own. The other thing that I did want to share as well is that I guess this house is like an actual place. Obviously it's not Tommy Shelby's actual house, but the structure is a real place, and I guess it's actually been in several different kinds of TV shows. I read it was on Antique Roadshow and some kind of not Shakespeare. What am I thinking of? Sherlock Holmes. There was something with Sherlock Holmes where this was filmed, and it's, I guess, quite a big thing, which I thought was pretty cool. It's definitely, it's huge when I was researching it, and definitely out of the scope of what you could build in The Sims 4. I was looking at some sample floor plans of the actual house, and there's lots of different gardens and different outdoor locations and stuff that I wouldn't have enough space in The Sims to make. So, of course I wasn't really able to include all of that, but I would definitely check it out if you are interested. It's called, let me look at my notes. It's called the Arley Hall, is what the building where it was filmed is called. So yeah, definitely check it out if you get the chance. And then, like I mentioned, I did have to kind of add in quite a few areas that weren't shown in the actual show, just based off of the floor plan. Like, it wouldn't make sense, you know, if it only showed the things that were actually in the show. So, just kind of, you know, for your reference, I guess. Some of the stuff that I did add in, and some of it was either just based off of, you know, my own imagination or like what I saw when I was looking up those sample floor plans. But I did add in like a coat closet right at the very beginning, or not at the beginning, but like at the entrance. I added in several sitting rooms. I kind of, to be honest, when I needed something to be there, you know, I was like, oh, default is sitting room, and I would add some kind of sitting area because I thought that would make the most sense. I added like an extensive guest wing, I guess you could say. One thing that I did too that I thought was kind of interesting was I had kind of like a main staircase that I used and then kind of like a guest staircase. So it took a little bit of like fiddling to get the floor plan right, but in the sample floor plans that I found, there pretty much all of them showed two different staircases. And so I had the kind of main staircase go to like you know, the owner's, I don't know what you would call it, but like the master bedroom, you know, and where the, like his kid sleeps and stuff like that. So that's kind of like off of the master bedroom the master staircase. And then off of the guest staircase was like you know, like I said, a giant guest wing with, I think it was like 6 or 7 guest bedrooms, like a little guest sitting area, and then some bathrooms. I also added in like a servants' quarters kind of thing because, you know, when you watch the show, you'll notice there's quite a few different servants, like maids and cooks and stuff like that throughout the show. And so, you know, pretty sure that they would be living there if this was a real thing, because there's no way that they're not, you know. So I added in like 2 different two different servant like rooms with a few different beds, and then 2 different servant bathrooms as well. And then one last thing that I did add in too was like a bar area. You know, in the show, he kind of often has people over, and there's like lots of different parties and stuff like that. And so some of it, you know, we could see like in the show, like, you know, the dining room and stuff like that. But I kind of figured that there would be like an actual bar area where I put one of those big giant bars that you can, you know, purchase in The Sims. And then like some little like sitting areas as well. So those are the things that I added in. You could also see right there that I was building the office. I spent a lot of time both in the video and like, you know, actually building it on Tommy's office because, you know, he spends a lot of time there in the show. You know, it's easy to like recreate things where they show a lot of different angles and a lot of different spots. So Tommy's office, I spent a lot of time there. And it, you know, one thing that is kind of hard, I feel, with doing a build like this is that you start to like run out of furniture because, you know, there's only so much furniture in the game that actually like matches the style, if that makes sense. You know, obviously there is a lot of furniture in the game, but there's only so many things that look like they could fit in 1920s England. A lot of it won't, just because of the way it looks. And so it definitely gets a little bit difficult when you're kind of just grasping at the only, you know, handful of desk options that are available, or the handful of chair options that are available. And then the other thing that I kind of did the other thing that I found kind of difficult was, you know, the house kind of looks, I don't want to say dreary because I don't think that's the right word, but it just looks kind of dark. And I think a lot of that is just the style of the show, you know, because it is kind of it's definitely a dark show. But I definitely tried to kind of hold back on like the lights, the amount of lights that I put in this house. You can see here, like, I often put, when I do builds just in general, I'll often put like lights around the place just so I can see when I'm building, and then I'll do the actual lighting later. But I kind of had to keep like stopping myself from adding too much light, because I think that would kind of eat away at like the vibe of the house. So you might notice that there's not a lot of lights, but I think that's I think that kind of helps it achieve the general like aesthetic of the actual house. And then the last thing that I kind of had trouble with for this build is it's because of the actual size. You know, at least for when I like to build or like design rooms and stuff, it's easier at least to kind of close, I don't want to say close everything in, but like, you know, add lots of clutter, make the rooms a bit smaller. I think, you know, that does really well. Like it looks nice in games and or in pictures and stuff. And I think, you know, if you look at like different like other YouTube videos or whatever, like it does well. I think if that was like a thumbnail, to have lots of like clutter and have things kind of filled in. But, you know, if you look at the house in the show, it's kind of, it's very like expansive. Like there's not a lot of stuff in it, and the rooms are huge. And I don't know much about, you know, 1920s English architecture or interior design. I don't know if that's like a standard thing or not, but it was definitely something that I noticed. It's just that there's not a lot of just general clutter. Plus, I mean, I feel like if you think about it, Tommy and, you know, the couple other people that live in that house, there's no way they could fill in that much of the house with clutter. You know, like if you know, in modern life, if you have 4 people living in a 2-bedroom or something, it's easy to fill in all that space because there's 4 people in 2 bedrooms. But, you know, 2 to 5 people or even more than that couldn't fill in a whole house, a whole mansion with clutter. So I basically didn't add any clutter because I didn't think it would be authentic or whatever. So the other thing that I usually like to mention in these videos is if there's anything else that you know, would really like to see a Sims creation or Sims recreation for, like a TV show or a movie or anything, please let me know, leave a comment. I would love to hear any additional ideas. One thing that I'm kind of tinkering in my brain with doing is I've been watching The Walking Dead, and there's, you know, I don't want to provide a spoiler, I guess, if there's anyone who either wants to watch it soon or, you know, is currently watching it. But in the second season, there's a location that that I think could do well with, you know, recreating in The Sims. So I've been thinking about doing that. I'll probably start researching for it so that I can, you know, make it accurate and everything. But if that's something that you would like to see, please let me know. And if there's anything else that you'd like to see, of course, let me know as well. Oh, and then one other thing that I did want to mention about this build is that you can see right now, of course, is in the show, they do have the bed placed like that, like kind of facing toward the door. With that little wall behind it, which I thought was really weird. I don't think people build houses like that anymore. I don't know if that was a common thing. I haven't really researched architecture or anything like that, but I am kind of curious. Just it's such an odd idea. I feel like, I don't know, I guess it makes sense, like it kind of makes the bed the center of the room, but I feel like it would be kind of weird to like sleep in the middle of the room like that. I mean, obviously I know like no one's going to come in and attack you in the middle of the night when you're sleeping, but I feel like I would feel exposed or something, like sleeping in the middle of the room like that. But anyway, that's just me. That being said, this video is just about over. You can see that we are doing the baby's room right now. We're just kind of finishing up. And like I said, those kind of surrounding rooms, those will be guest rooms. So those will get, you know, filled in. Like if you actually download it off the gallery, those will be filled in. They're just not filled in right now because I didn't want to include it and make this an hour-long video. So we are about to go to the screenshots. If you liked this video, please let me know. Let me know if there's anything else that you want to see, and I hope I get to see you next time. Bye.